Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's Twin Flame extended reading here on Patreon. In today's reading, we are going to be channeling more specifically into the messages and information that came up in the first reading on YouTube. Now, if you haven't yet listened to the first reading, you can do so by following the link in the Patreon post. But for those of you that have already come from that first reading, if you would like me to channel specifically for you and your situation, like this video either on Patreon or on the YouTube video itself, it doesn't matter where you like it, but this does allow me to pick up more easily on your energy. So I am shuffling the Energy Oracle cards deck, and right away, I keep getting this kind of tension sensation on the right side of my shoulder. And also I'm still feeling that kind of middle back tension that came up in the first reading. So some of you may be feeling some of these sensations as well. And if you've already explored these symptoms with a medical professional, there's a good chance that some of these areas of tension, these pockets of tension, could be pockets of energetic resistance being broken down that is being manifested in the physical body. So specifically, this could be connected with the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and the heart chakra centers here. So we'll see if any of that comes up in the reading. I just saw the number 144, and I know that the number 144,000 is really connected with the twin flame concept, but I've just been seeing a lot of 1s and 4s lately, so I am going to look up this number. You are being supported and guided on your journey. Keep your thoughts positive and optimistic as you take on an important new phase of life. You're here on earth to do big things. It's time to wake up and remember the divine truth of you and get to work to accomplish your divine purpose and mission. And as I was reading all of that, I just kept hearing, like, when you see this, this could be a sign letting you know that you are being more deeply activated to some higher calling, some higher mission or purpose. When I think of the idea of the 144,000, there's really that idea that a certain group of souls come to the planet and are activating collective consciousness by shifting the collective paradigms, worldviews in some way. Essentially, that when a group of souls comes here to change the collective mindsets around something by changing that through their own life, then at that point, there's like some kind of tipping points in collective consciousness where that newfound knowing is more available and more easily accessible to everyone on the planet. So this really is a way that we are collectively raising the vibration of collective consciousness. So I want to know specifically how some who are connecting with this reading are being spiritually activated at this time. Cornucopia. Wow. So this is the 11 card, the 1111 card as well, and it's really sitting on the heart space. This card speaks to manifestation. For some reason, I'm hearing manifesting from the heart. So there could be some listening here who you might be creating, attracting, putting your energy toward some kind of goal or dream that you desire for some kind of heart-based reason. It's like there is something in your heart pulling you in this direction. And I feel that your spirit guides, your higher self is coming in here to say, as you pursue this heart-based goal or dream, this really has an impact not just on you and your life, but also on the collective consciousness, because the world needs more people who are activated in this way to some kind of soul mission or purpose, who are literally magnetized with love for something in this way. So how else are some souls I'm connecting with here being activated at this time financial constraints. So breaking down concepts of lack or limitation, specifically around money, finances, how you create or attract abundance, stability, supports in your life. And I feel that for some of these fears around finances may have been or presently may be coming to the surface in some way, or if not finances specifically, just around, will I be supported materially in my quest towards this heart-based goal or dream? And I feel that these fears are really representing fears that are stored in collective consciousness, and the fears that actually keep most people from ever pursuing the true passions of their heart, the true goals of their heart. But the reason that at times these feelings of uncertainty surface for you is because you are, in a sense, one of the chosen ones, meaning that you are a soul that chose at the soul level, at the spiritual level, to come to earth to experience these challenges that humans face in pursuing their dreams and goals, that you would have this seed of a dream planted within you, but that you would do something different from most of collective consciousness, that you would have the courage to face and overcome these mental obstacles and blockages. I keep hearing first in the family, so someone I'm channeling here may be at this time or destined to be the first in their family to achieve some kind of goal, dream, to do something different, to really break some kind of negative pattern of thinking for their family's line. So what are these so-called generational curses that are being broken? These negative patterns of thinking. Strategy in the reverse position, releasing your need to have all the answers, releasing your need for a plan. For some reason, I'm getting that this won't be for everyone, but for someone I'm channeling here, your ancestors, even ancestors you might not personally know, so like a great-great-grandfather, grandmother, they may have been very religious and very devout in a particular religion, and yet they never truly had faith, meaning they never truly were able to release control and trust that they were supported, trust that they were taken care of by some kind of higher force, intelligence, or power. But you are awakening to the realization that that intelligence, that power is within you. You are learning to tap into that more consciously. And in the process, you are learning a kind of faith that generations before you never knew, because you're learning how to fully trust yourself, but equivalently to trust the intelligence of the universe, the guiding force of the universe, which also is reflected within you in that intuitive voice. So I feel like part of how you are releasing this need to, as we're saying, have all the answers, have it figured out through the conscious minds, part of how this is happening is by, again, as we said in the first reading, is by you learning how to really consciously tap into and follow that intuitive voice within yourself. I'm hearing instability, creating a new kind of stability. So you may have gone through periods of your life, or this could be something you're going through now, where things actually feel really destabilized because of these choices, because of choices to follow your heart's true calling or passion, because of choices to confront these deep-seated fears and limiting beliefs around how you create stability or abundance in your life. Things that cause most people to never step outside of their comfort zone. You releasing your need for a plan here to have everything figured out through the conscious mind. All of this working together may have at certain times in your life, or even now for some of you listening, again, be creating this destabilization in your life. But what Spirit wants you to know is this temporary feeling of destabilization is actually your life coming into alignment. I'm hearing like all hell breaks loose when you truly begin aligning with your soul's highest path, because it causes a kind of energetic disruption that the ego really fights against, but your soul knows this is a realignment of your life with that highest soul's path. And it's a really beautiful thing taking place. Wow, very unexpected messages coming through here. I wasn't expecting to channel any of that, but I do hope that reached whoever needed to hear it. So let's go ahead and read specifically into the Divine Feminine. So what is going on within the Divine Feminines? Okay, interesting. Action reversed. What is feeling inactive or stagnant? Man holding a heart in the upright position. I'm hearing doubt or disbelief around a future in love. So either with a specific person that you may have in mind, a specific masculine energy, or with someone new, depending on what your desires are here. I'm feeling some doubts and disbeliefs coming up because at times this feels very inactive or feels like it's not moving forward from a 3D perspective, even though at the soul level, like we said in the first reading, this actually is shifting very fast. That Door to Romance card came out in the first reading, and I said, I really felt like Divine Feminine, as you get more clear on what you want, on your vision for this connection or your ideal connection, your ideal life, the universe begins to orchestrate all of the pieces, all of the elements of that beyond the understanding of the conscious mind here. But I do feel some doubts and disbeliefs specifically coming up around love. And of course, the strategy reverse card came up again. The numbers 21 or 12 might be significant to someone as well. But what I'm picking up here is that I feel someone's guides kind of teasing them here, saying, you have to just go with the flow of this situation. Specifically for someone, I feel it's a love situation that, again, feels very inactive or as though it's not moving forward. And it's requiring you to really trust in the sense that you are just going to go where you feel guided, go where you feel led, follow the energy, follow the inspiration, and just, I keep hearing too, just like have fun with it, live in the presence of this situation, find ways to create fun and joy and play in the present moments of this love situation or your love life generally, whatever that looks like for you, and things will begin to mold themselves according to your vision. But it really requires the ego mind, the conscious minds, to not get too involved here, which I know is much easier said than done. The Angel of Strength card reversed, someone feeling a bit overwhelmed or struggling to find confidence with some kind of situation. Yeah, the thinking woman upright, because someone's ego here is kind of getting in the way. I'm hearing blocking them at times from their highest potential by causing them to overthink or feel anxious about things that they are really being led to release, to surrender to the universe. So what are these things that the ego is getting involved in here? The solar plexus chakra in the upright position. Wow, it's really interesting. This card came out in the last reading for the Divine Masculine. And I said that he was healing himself around the confidence to be vulnerable, especially in the context of relationships, to be open. And I feel Divine Feminine in a roundabout way. You are reflecting, you are mirroring this energy. You are learning how to find the confidence to speak your truth, to be vulnerable and open in that sense, to express yourself. I'm hearing through your gifts for some of you, through your art, through your work, through your connections, to be more vocal, to be more self-expressive. But I do feel fears and blocks still coming up around this from time to time. So what does this Divine Feminine need to know about the fears and blocks that could be coming up here around self-expression? Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook here also. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember those times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. you're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul wisdom is beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Yeah, that word unprepared really stood out here. So I feel that where this Angel of Strength reverse card is coming in for some divine feminines is there could be feelings, doubts surfacing of, am I ready for this change or for this next phase of my life? Do I have the capability to pursue whatever this is in my life? And I feel that your guides are reminding you here that you are a very ancient soul. And because of that, you carry this really deep level knowledge, wisdom within you that goes beyond what your mind, which only stores this one lifetime, can fully understand. And that is why you're really being told to pay attention to where you feel guided, how you feel inspired, because as the guidebook said there, this can often indicate some accessing of that deeper level soul knowing beyond the conscious understanding of the minds. Yeah, Angel of Love in the upright position. I'm hearing you will be protected as you walk around with your hearts wide open. So there could be some divine feminines also feeling fear around being so vulnerable, being so open-hearted again, whether it's in a particular love connection or whether it is in regards to expressing themselves through their artwork, through their creative gifts, passions, whatever the case is for you. Yeah, sacral chakra in the reverse position. It's interesting because this came out in the first reading as well with that religious factors card. I said for some, it may connect with healing from shame or other restrictions around intimacy, relationships stored in the sacral chakra, but it won't necessarily be religious in nature for everyone. But I do see this really deep sacral chakra healing actually playing into why you are being infused with this newfound ability to create, because the sacral chakra doesn't just connect with intimacy and with relationships, but also our ability to create artwork, to create music, to do things like that in our life, to express ourselves in that way, because that also requires feelings of being safe when being vulnerable. Whenever we share ourselves in that way, of course, it inherently requires us to be vulnerable in the same way we would in an intimate relationship or connection. So I want to know how the sacral chakra, or what the sacral chakra is being healed from. Strategy in the reverse position, asking you to release control. Yeah, so someone here may have struggled in the past to release the need to control circumstances, either in their life, their work, their connections. I'm hearing releasing control and fully trusting. In relationships, of course, sometimes this can be trusting the other person, but mainly I feel this is a self-trust. This is also a trust of the universe to care for you, to support you in that vulnerability and openness. And of course, financial constraints upright as well, as I was talking about the universe supporting you. So for some, this support may specifically look like material support, knowing that as you walk your soul's path, opportunities with adjacent possibilities upright are going to be opening to you. Doors will open ahead of you right when you need them. Those restrictions will be released. That stability will be there. That next step will be there. But this obviously requires a lot of trust and a lot of releasing of control. So for some of you, this may connect specifically with love. For others, this will be very specific to a certain goal, dream, change in your life path. So I do hope that message reached you. Now, I do want to know what the Divine Feminine wants to say to the Divine Masculine in terms of any love messages or love-related thoughts that could come through here. So what does the Divine Feminine want to say to the masculine? Longing. Someday. I feel like there could be a Divine Feminine who's disconnected or walked away from this twin flame connection with the Divine Masculine. But if not that specifically, this also could be just releasing, as we said in the first reading, releasing those aspects of their 3D connection that were not aligned with unconditional love. However, if that is the case, I see this like, I'm hearing this kind of like hidden longing for this to work out at some point in the future. I see that with the card Will You Stay as well. And also social media came out here. So there could be some connection, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, some kind of energy exchange happening between the counterparts through social media that they're connected on. But that won't be for everyone. It's interesting because I feel this Will You Stay card kind of speaking to this longing for things to align themselves, but not really knowing how exactly that's going to work or when that is going to come together. Yeah, because with walking away upright, it's like I see this Divine Feminine feeling this inner conflict of, I want you, Divine Masculine, to be in my life. I want this connection to align itself. But at the same time, I have to walk away from the parts of you and the parts of this connection that are not working by 3D standards or by speaking about it in like 5D terms, that are not aligned with true unconditional love, that are kind of keeping me stuck in this cycle that I have to break out of. Yeah, financial constraints upright. This card comes out so frequently, but there could be that feeling of being stuck, being restricted, being stuck in some kind of cycle or pattern with this masculine that has to be broken, that may have required this walking away. I had to release my fears with anxiety reversed about destabilizing my life or this connection with root chakra reversed in order to fulfill myself with envy in the reverse position. It's like I get the sense that for many Divine Feminines, when they were more 3D connected with this masculine, at some level or at certain points in time, there could have been this feeling of deep uncertainty, deep unfulfillment in the sense that some of them, and again, this won't be for everyone, but for some, you may have felt as though you weren't being offered true unconditional love in the past by this masculine, leading to feelings of unfulfillment. So there's this sense of finally needing to let go of fears around not knowing the future, around potentially creating destabilization here and choosing to fulfill oneself. Again, choosing to walk away from the aspects of this person or this connection that are not aligned with that unconditional love, with attachment reversed. What attachments are being reversed here? Heart attachments with the heart chakra and the upright position, conditions around love being released. What conditions were being released? Deceit in the reverse position, facing the truth. So I feel like there may have been a Divine Feminine who tried holding on to something. Again, this could be related to life, although for many I feel this was related to this masculine specifically. And there's this energy of trying to hold on to some kind of illusion or some kind of, I'm hearing like false narrative or just something that wasn't fully true, trying to like make yourself believe something rather than having the courage to face the truth of the situation or of the person as they are in the present moments. I just hear a Divine Feminine saying, like, I didn't want to see this pattern for what it was because I know who you really are at the soul level. But now I know that in order to no longer betray myself, I have to face the truth. It's like this is really an interesting energy coming through here. It's kind of hard to find the words to describe this energy. There's the feeling of someone facing the truth so that they are no longer betraying themselves. And with door to value upright and man holding a heart in the upright position, I see this message from your guides and higher self, Divine Feminine, saying, as you clarify, as you clear your energy by facing the truth of how you are feeling, where you are being fulfilled, where your intuition is leading you, and where you are feeling unfulfilled, and you go towards greater self-fulfillment. Really, I'm getting the word self-actualization also, like Divine Feminine, you are reaching or on your way to this pinnacle of self-actualization, really aligning with that ideal version of yourself. And for those of you still holding on to fears of, but what if I'm leaving behind something that I shouldn't be leaving behind, or something that I feel almost some guilt coming up here for some. Again, this could be related to life or love, but I feel this message of continue to move forward anyway, because with Goddess of the Moon upright, that inner goddess energy, that inner Divine Feminine within you is really being activated to a powerful degree. And as you continue following your intuition, wherever that's guiding you, I see that with door to value upright and man holding a heart upright, you are holding the standard for only open-hearted, mutual, fully reciprocated love connections to come into your life. And in that way, you're presenting the divine masculine counterpart with the choice of, is he going to rise to embody that? Is he going to do the inner work to rise to meet you there or not? And that choice has to be left up to him. And in the meantime, I see you really stepping into that ideal version of self. With door to value upright, I see you attracting in a lot of financial security, abundance, stability, as well as just material stability in general, as you continue to, again, follow that intuition and allow that Divine Feminine energy within you to continue being activated in this way. So I guess we went ahead and got into some higher self messages there also, but I do now want to speak to the Divine Masculine. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here. So what is going on with the Divine Masculine at this time? Okay, so as long as things are unbalanced, communication is going to be low, blocked, or is going to feel blocked off in some way between the counterparts in the physical world, because Angel of Balance and the throat chakra card reverse both came up here. However, I hear a masculine so strongly saying, I still love you. I don't know who that's for, but you might know if that connects with you. The Angel of Love upright came out here. So it's like, what I feel this masculine saying is, at times, I feel very unbalanced at the moment and even overwhelmed because of how unbalanced things feel in my life. For some reason, I'm getting the word unhinged. Like there's a masculine almost judging himself as emotionally being unhinged because he's feeling a lot of emotions that he's no longer able to bottle up. However, again, even though this imbalance in this masculine's energy at times might be judged by his ego self, it's actually a sign that he is powerfully aligning with that unconditionally loving energy with Angel of Love upright. So I want to know what emotions are coming up for this masculine, because I just feel an immense amount of emotional expression, even if it's just when he's alone with himself. Worry. Interesting. What other emotions are coming up for this masculine? Relationships. Envy. Oh, this is interesting. So I see that if there is a 3D separation between the two of you, Divine Feminine and Masculine, I see this masculine. I hear someone saying like, I want to be him, or I wish I could be him. So this won't be for everyone, but if there is a divine feminine who's been dating or connecting with other masculine energies, I see this almost like jealous or kind of envious energy coming from this divine masculine, because there is this feeling of almost like a possessiveness of the divine feminine, of wanting to be exclusive with her. And yet I feel that in many cases, this would be kind of ironic to the divine feminine, because many masculines were not able to or did not fully offer this exclusivity to the divine feminine in the past, in the 3D. However, there is this energy of not wanting you to move on, is what I'm getting. Yeah, the card waiting came up here. I feel like there could be a masculine here who, it's like if you aren't communicating much in the physical, they could actually be waiting for you to, I'm hearing, to make a move or to reach out. But ironically, sometimes I feel then if you do reach out, they might kind of play it off kind of coy or even act a little bit distant, which is really confusing, because it's like they're manifesting you essentially to contact them, to reach out, to initiate something, but then they might act like they almost like don't want to communicate. It's like this very confusing energy, and that won't be for everyone. So only take that if it resonates. Reconnecting. Yeah, it's like a masculine that is in some kind of separation with the feminine coming through here, that really wants to reconnect and is even manifesting this reconnection in the silence. Yeah, with silence and the throat chakra reversed. I'm getting that at times communication may be closed off literally between the two of you, or might feel kind of closed off in some way. So I want to know what this masculine is feeling in the silence. Karmic missed calls. Wow, I'm hearing like avoiding the karmic, or not connecting with the karmic in the same way. This won't be for everyone, but if your person does have a third-party karmic situation that has been in their life, I see them just like completely being emotionally disconnected from this person or energy. Of course, this could also speak more broadly to negative behavior patterns and emotional patterns that this masculine is really beginning to release, to no longer feel the pull to in the same way. And for some masculine who may have a karmic pattern around addiction, addictive behaviors in some way, I feel him saying like, these things I used to try to use to distract myself, to numb myself, no longer work to forget you, divine feminine, which is why I am no longer feeling the pull back to these behaviors as much, because it's like they simply don't work. You are the dominant thing in my mind, in my energy. It's like you are now my sole addiction. This is hard for me. So I feel that even if this masculine isn't communicating everything he's been going through, this ego death, these intense emotional experiences, I feel that at a soul level, he wants you to know that he's really been going through it spiritually and emotionally at this time. So I do want to pull one final card from the Rumi Oracle. I did just see the number 3322, if that connects with anyone. So what is one final card for twin flames connecting with this reading? Cosmic Hearts. And I'm going to read just a little bit from the guidebook here. I was dead. I became alive. I was tears, I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I have seen everything. I have no fear. I have the hearts of a lion. I shine like Venus. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, you have been through tantalizing trials, the push to surrender fear, the realization your attempts at control amount to not so much actually, so why not abandon them altogether? The trials have asked you to confront every part of your being that holds itself back in resistance to what is, in resistance to what life presents at this very moment. You have been asked to become comfortable with the possible discomforts of not knowing, and to understand you don't have to understand anything for life to work out with perfect synchronicity and generous grace. You have been asked to bear darkness without losing hope for the return of the lights. You have been asked to trust in your own heart wisdom when your mind was terrorized by nightmares and hallucinations of fear. And yet, here you are, still loving, still wise, and ready for a love bigger than you have ever experienced before. So we step forward together, you and I. That feels like a perfect place to close this reading, so I really hope something here connected with you in a meaningful way. As I always say, only take what resonates with you personally and leave the rest. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will talk to you again in Friday's extended reading here on Patreon.